Hi, and welcome to my channel, This Fantastic Life. My name is Brian and I'm your host. I'm here at Zion-Ponderosa Ranch and Resort, and I'm about to tell you about Zion National Park's best kept secret. Everyone who comes to Zion National Park always hears about the famous Angel's Landing Trail, a very narrow ledge that takes you up after a bunch of steep switchbacks to great views of the canyon. However, I'm about to tell you about a trail that's even better. This is the trail to Observation Point. While Angel's Landing is the most popular hike in the park, it's not for everyone. It's a very strenuous hike that requires 1,488 feet of elevation gain, a bunch of switchbacks called Walter's Wiggles, there's no shade, and dangerous drop-offs. 13 people have fallen to their death since 2004. So if you're afraid of heights like me, you might want an alternative. Observation Point is a relatively easy hike through pine forest with lots of shade. And unlike Angel's Landing, which requires a permit system, and only 900 permits are awarded per day, there's no permits required for Observation Point. Furthermore, Angel's Landing starts from down in the valley floor, and it's always crowded. There are lines at the top with people waiting to go out to chains and come back, and they cross each other along the way. It's just not as great a view either. Observation Point actually is higher elevation, and you can look down on Angel's Landing. You can see the whole valley floor below you, and it's not very crowded at all. So hopefully I've convinced you that Observation Point is the way to go. There used to be a trail from the canyon floor to Observation Point. However, there was flooding on the trail and they had to close it. So now the only way to get to Observation Point is to drive east on the Zion-Mt Carmel Scenic Highway from the visitor center. It's about an 8.5 mile drive through the park, past a bunch of scenic wonders, and then make a left just after exiting the park onto North Fork Road and follow the signs to Zion Canyon, the Zion-Ponderosa Resort and Ranch. Along the scenic highway, you will pass by the Great Arch, carved into the edge of Pine Creek Canyon. The arch is 600 feet wide by 400 feet high, and it's an example of a blind arch or an inset arch, where just one side is exposed. The Great Arch formed as the softer Kayenta Formation eroded away beneath the harder Navajo sandstone. In many thousands of years, eventually this arch can become a freestanding arch. Along the way, you will pass through the 5,000 foot long Zion-Mt Carmel Tunnel, which was built in the 1920s and is still an engineering work of feat. As we drove along the Zion-Mt Carmel Highway, we stopped along one of the pullouts on the eastern side of the park and saw this herd of sheep high up in the rock formations. The sheep were eating the yellow leaves of a yucca plant. Just before you reach the eastern exit to the park, you will observe the checkerboard mesa on the right side of the road. The checkerboard mesa rises to about 6,700 feet, and it has this essentially looking checkerboard pattern as vertical cracks intersect with horizontal lines. The horizontal lines form from cross-bedding, and the vertical cracking is due to expansion and contraction. You can pull over here for better views. Part of the reason that Observation Point is one of Zion's best kept secrets is because you have to traverse the park in order to get to the trailhead. The actual trailhead is located on private land outside the park boundaries. We drove north on North Fork Road to Zion-Ponderosa Ranch and Resort and parked here. You could also drive the dirt road into an actual parking lot at the edge of the trailhead. However, it's a very steep and bumpy road and not very well suited for low clearance vehicles, and there's very limited parking and turnaround areas out there. So we chose instead to take the shuttle bus from the ranch and resort. Shuttle buses run every half hour from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock at night for the return, and costs about $7 per person. Please arrange for shuttle transportation at least 12 hours in advance. Alright, so now you've decided that the observation point hike is better than the Angel's Landing hike, and you're ready to go. So what do you need to know? First of all, you need to know how to get to the trailhead. Second of all, you need to know what to pack. So pack a snack and slap on some sunscreen, fill your Camelback, and let's get going. .7 miles in, and we have our first view. Here's a little viewpoint at 2.1 miles off the trail. Nice view of the canyon. At about 2.5 miles, the trail begins to go slightly downhill, and the views start to open up a little more. So here we are at Observation Point, and looking down on Angel's Landing. Every year people apply for a permit so they can hike Angel's Landing, and then there's a queue of a couple hundred people to go up that narrow bridge. For what view? I don't know, because I think we've got a better view here. Yeah, look how many people are up here. Have it all to ourselves.
Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please click like and subscribe. I'll also give you another tip. If you're into boondocking, drive another mile east on Route 9 and make a right onto Poverty Road, and then go up about 0.5 miles and you'll have this wonderful boondocking site on your right.